And welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to yet another one of my live streams, and we're just going to chill out. Okay, weather's been crazy. There's really nothing we could do right now. I mean, I could have went live on some video game, but to be honest with you, I'm working on something. Don't need y'all seeing it right now. Not ready for you to see it. Just working on something. Hoping to do a collab with a friend. But that is another subject for another time. That indeed, yes. So it's good to see everyone that is kind enough to poke their head in and say hello, hello. Um, you know, uh, we got a lot of exciting stuff in the works right now, and I've got to address a few questions that came up. You know, you just got to do what you got to do. um, Hi, honey. You're the first one to put a comment in. My honey's over there playing Save the World. We've been on that, and I've been working on kind of a quiet project in the background on Save the World. Really awesome project, to be honest with y'all. Been working on something really neat. I think y'all will enjoy. Um, I got to hook up with dear old Bad Bad. We've been missing each other on Fortnite. I haven't been able to catch up with him. I could use his hand with something coming up. A little bit bigger than what I can do by myself. I've been trying to solo some four-man stuff, and it's a little bit different over in the Canny Valley area. You don't just solo four-man stuff like I did earlier playing Fortnite. You just don't do that very easily unless you're like up in Twine Peaks. Then you can solo that four-man stuff, but it's a whole nother ball game at this point. Uh, they're throwing everything at me but the kitchen sink. Now, and the stuff hits me a lot harder than it did before. I need to get Ian over there too and run with me a little bit. He's got to get him caught up on the Fortnite, get him caught up to me because I know there has been kind of a quiet talk in the background. Mr. Bad Bat wanting to put together a mythical Storm King team. And I know he mentioned several names of people that he wanted to go with him numerous times. Like he wants all the cool stuff. But I guess he wants his own specific team to go, and that is going to be fantastic if he does it. Um, so that's going to be neat, neat, neat. I'm looking forward to it already. I'm all fired up for it. All fired up for that idea. So count me in. So Mr. Raven is in the background. Holler at Bad Bad. I'll be on later on tonight. But I won't, I've got a couple of missions we got to do. We got to do this. Raven, if you're in the background, you want to run, I definitely, hey, what's going on? Think Different. Good to see you, buddy. Um, Real quick, Project Spirit. Yesterday, I couldn't go to work. Project Spirit was pretty well buried up to her axles. Actually, damn near every vehicle was buried up to their axles. And to make matters worse, went out to try to start her because I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I can do this. I got a couple of good cranks in. The battery started going dead. She would not start. And if you know anything about those old cars, um, basically, if you don't have a good battery in it and it starts getting weak, even if you got a good choke, if you don't have enough, electricity going to that ignition system, and I'm not just talking the starter, I'm talking ignition system in general. We're, going down to those plugs. If you don't have enough juice, forget it. They will not start. They'll flood before they start. And she'd been doing that for about a week where you pretty well flood her just to get her to start. So we ran into the problem where yesterday we had to go get a new battery for Spirit. Of course, the battery is already a couple years old. Yeah, a couple years old now. and it's not one of the high-end batteries. It's a good battery, but it wasn't a high-end battery where it lasts for like ever and a day. And there's no sense in me putting something like that into Spirit because let's face facts. Um, hey, what's going on, Mr. Raven? It's good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Um, Princess Faye is playing Save the World right now, and she's working up to Storm Shield Defense number 2 in Plankerton. Storm Shield Defense number 2 in Plankerton, moving right along. Um, I'm going to be doing I got to do a Storm Shield Defense. Hey, Inspired Champion, welcome to the live stream, my friend. Well, it's good to see you too, Raven. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, all right. Inspired Champion. Here in a little while. Oh, thank you so much. What about the rear wall and the outer walls? Well, we're not there yet. She's getting close to a Storm Shield Defense number 2 in Plankerton, which Princess Faye, and on her stuff, she for Save the World, it's pretty well, just kind of keeps it kind of quiet and all that good stuff. Now on my end, I don't mind streaming it or anything. I don't know if I'll stream my Storm Shield Defense number 4 in Canny Valley, but that's where we're at. I'm at that stage where I'm on Storm Shield Defense number 4. And there's some other stuff that I really could use an extra hand with. I've been trying to solo 4-man stuff, and that just don't work out. That just does not work out. So I'm getting closer to Twine Peaks. I'm on page 10 of 19, so I'm like halfway there, and I'm getting all excited. I can't wait to finish it out. Getting really excited about that stuff, because I know there's already been talk about putting together a group for Mythical Storm King, as Bad Bat would say it, basically the big one. And I'm getting close to the first Storm King battle, getting really close, and I'm really getting excited. Which I think I seen that one, and it's like, holy shit. Holy shit. it looks pretty spooky. So I want to holler at Ian. I'm going to drag him with me. I'll be taking the best I got, as far as weaponry goes, which people have been giving me. I'll go into some different battles and things like that. And people find out about the YouTube channel, and people drop me some really, really awesome weaponry and Save the World. And I do appreciate it. It's like, man, I mean, it saves me from crafting the next one. And matter of fact, last time, I'm no good with the bows in the regular long bows in Save the World. I am no good with those. But Princess Faye has really grabbed onto them, does a fantastic job. So surprise, surprise, she's really good with the bows. Of course, she's been playing ninjas a lot lately, and really likes that. So awesome. I am no good with the ninjas in that game. No good. Don't even expect it. If you want to see me get chewed up, spit back out, yeah, it's no good. No good. What I am usually pretty good at, what I'm really good at, is Outlanders and Constructors. That's really good there. And I just picked up my first member of Steel Wool. Sid picked him up. I think the next one in line is Carlos, and as soon as I get that one. Boom, boom! It's really cool. Really cool. The first time I ever seen that base set down that makes that Raven was the one that set one down, and I actually have video footage saved on my from OBS recording it, and I had that was the first time I ever had that set up. and seeing that setup was when Raven set it down, and I was like, that is so freaking cool. And I was doing a lot of solo stuff. Of course, I was soloing, doing a lot of solo stuff. What's going on, Ricky? Good to see you. So I know later on tonight I'll probably be over on Save the World doing some recording stuff, but I'm probably not going to be streaming that tonight. Now I know I'm Broken Mike into doing a joint stream with me. Hey, what's up, Chairman? How are you feeling? I know you've been not feeling super great. I hope you've been doing good. Hope you've been doing good. But there's quite a few of you that I want to grab and try to do joint streams with and do some really awesome stuff with on Save the World. That doesn't get it. That side of Fortnite does not get enough credit for the storyline that they created. I like the storyline. I like a good storyline anyways in a video game. And for those that don't know, one of the things that I love the most about those old games is picking up like the player's guide. Oh, I'm so glad. I've been wondering how you've been doing. Been thinking about you. Had you in my thoughts and prayers, brother. I'm glad you're doing good, Chairman. But let me kind of clue y'all in. See, I'm an old, I'm a retro gamer by heart, okay? And I like picking up like a storybook of an old video game. And let me give you an idea. The original Legend of Zelda, to fully get the feel of the game, you had to pick up the player's guide or, and that sort of thing to understand what all the the creatures in game and, basically the enemies and the bosses and things like that. You had to pick that guide up and you had to read it. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of it's probably an amazing storyline. I'm not a big fan of the Assassin's Creed game story, series. It's not really my style of gaming. Nothing against it. I mean, from what I could see, it looks amazing. It's just not my style. And a lot of that is on PlayStation 4.
Assassin's Creed is not just on PlayStation 4, it's also on the PC.
Is it on PC?
I have it.
Okay. And a discussion there. But anyhow, it's just not my style of play. I mean, I imagine if I sat down and played with it long enough, I'd probably grab onto it. More than anything, I do prefer my retro games. And if there was one game that if I sit down and start playing it, you might as well hang it up. I'm going to be there a while. And that game is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That is one I will sit down and I'm stuck. That's about for modern games. And I've been screaming, I can't wait till part 2. That one too. But, I've been screaming for a while. I cannot wait until Breath of the Wild 2. For the record, when that happens, y'all probably won't see me for like a while. I'd basically just be uploaded video of how I'm doing in that game. That's kind of how it's going to be. I love that game. I love that, I love that whole series. Legend of Zelda is my franchise of choice for video games. I love Legend of Zelda. I know some people knock on Nintendo. There's, yeah, y'all won't see me for a little bit. That is my all-time favorite game, and no question about it. Now, beyond that, yep. I have beaten Legend of Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda in live stream. Now, being a retro gamer, I know there is some of you out there that will say, when it comes to Legend of Zelda, the first one that a lot of people will say, Ocarina of Time, or they'll say Majora's Mask, which I've played both of them a little bit. I didn't stick with it very long, and I will tell you all right now, out of the gate, they're okay. I know it started kind of bridging into the 3D era, which we all still enjoy. And of course, 3D now for Legend of Zelda is phenomenal. But I will tell you, traditionally, for Legend of Zelda, the best ones are usually your top down Legend of Zelda. Link to the Past, anyone, which was actually 2 games in one. 2 games in one. It really, really pushed the boundaries of the Super NES. It really did push those boundaries. Now that I said that, there is one that's still even better. And you just mentioned it, Ricky. The original 1986 Legend of Zelda. You didn't get any better. And there's a reason for it. There's several reasons why that game is, without a doubt, the best you're going to get. Without that game being as good as it was, even for 1986, the franchise would not have taken off. It had to be that good. It had to be that good. Okay? So, right there, that is the reason why that series, you would not have Ocarina of Time, you would not have Majora's Mask if it was not for the original being as good as it was. And even now, Nintendo still releases Legend of Zelda games as top down, the traditional. They still do it. So that is how good that worked. Along with that, it's part of a convoluted timeline that I know I'm going to try to have to tackle again. I did a video like a couple years ago actually talking about the Master Sword actually getting an upgrade that most people don't remember. And it all is based on the timeline that we currently have. It's still kind of up for debate where Breath of the Wild falls in on the timeline. There's still a debate on it. But I could actually take you into Breath of the Wild and the original Legend of Zelda game and show you where Breath of the Wild comes in on the timeline. I could legit show you because I'm one of those ones that I played the original one so much. I pretty well know that map like the back of my hand, even though there isn't a map. I could legit show you all the locations. Yeah. Yep. What's going on, Pinkers? Good to see you. Oh, so you got tons of yeah, okay. You love your retro games too, Ricky. You're right there with me. I still love playing the original Mario, Super Mario Brothers for the NES. I still love playing those games. A lot of fun there. And I wish they would re-release it for the Switch. I really wish they would bring it onto the Switch. The original Ninja Turtles. We're talking the single player where you had to switch between the individual turtle. I wish they would do that. You've never beat the original one? Oh my gosh. If there were, okay. Hey, what's going on, Morgan? Man, so many wonderful other ones from other channels sneaking in here that I've met from so many other channels. Good to see you guys. It's good to see all of you. So, not even close. I've thought about messing around. To give you an idea, I've actually thought about messing around at speed runs with the original Super Mario Brothers for the NES. Now, I'm not talking about the original arcade. That was a whole nother ballgame. I'm talking about the original Mario Brothers for the original NES, 1985, if I remember correctly. And for the record, most people tend to forget that Nintendo was around. Nintendo in like 1977 actually had a Pong console. A Pong console. If that's any indication how far back Nintendo goes. Nintendo's been around a while. And of course, 1970s Pong was all the rage. Tell you how old I am. I am actually old enough to. I remember playing the original Atari 2600, being able to swap the cartridges in the Atari 2600. Loved it. Loved it. Lots of it was a different style of gaming back then. I love the original Atari 2600. Oh, right on, Chairman. See, and I have actually showed video footage of the Atari 2600 doing Sword Quest, which we actually did a reveal on Sword Quest on this channel. I actually got out all my paperwork and everything, all the notes and everything. Yes, I played Duck Hunt. Yes, the Sword Quest contest. I solved the mystery. Solved the mystery. Did it in a live stream. Explained it all. How it all went down. Talked about it all. There's already 3 videos prior to that, actual recorded videos. The second one wasn't that great. It was kind of rushed because a lot of people were screaming about it. But I did solve that mystery. Solve the mystery of the Sword Quest contest from the early 80s. Sword Quest. Oh, really? What's up, Viable? If y'all have checked out my boy Viable Solutions, get over there and check him out. Awesome content creator. Oh, it's all good. It's all good, V. Sword Quest. Okay, the Sword Quest contest. Back in 19... Hey, what's up, Jay? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, the Sword Quest contest back in 1982. Been a minute. Atari was on top of the world. I knew who you meant, Jake. It's all good. It's all good. Back in 1982, the video game world was ruled by Atari. Nintendo was still just doing arcade cabinets, okay? That's what Nintendo was doing. So this is 1982. Atari. Hang on here. I might still have my notes handy. A lot of stuff got moved around in the office as of recent. Yep, right there. My honey was smart and put it where I could reach it easy to talk about it. Okay. Back in 1982, Atari got the idea that they were going to do puzzle games that were also like adventure games at the same time. Okay. And there was going to be a series of 5 treasures from this. And I'll have to link some of the stuff to you. But in a nutshell, there was going to be 4 games released, all of them based on the 4 elements, okay? The first one that was released for Atari was Sword Quest Earthworld. Then there was Sword Quest Fire World, Sword Quest Water World, and then there was supposed to be Sword Quest Air World, okay? Really? I kind of missed that. I mean, I was lurky turkey, so I kind of missed it because I was working on some stuff. So you all have to clue me in here just shortly. But in that, there was supposed to be, basically you had to solve a puzzle. Now, each one of these games was supposed to come with a comic book that was actually inked by DC Comics, okay? Now, the way this worked, you bought the game, you had the comic that came with the game. You took it home, plugged it into your Atari 2600. You fired it up, and you had to read the comic because it was also your game guide at the same time. Then you solved the puzzle. You sent in the solved puzzle to Atari, and they took the contestants that got it all right and brought them in for a final competition. And in the end, if you won the contest, you got a prize at the end of each one of the first 4 games contest that in 1982, the prize was worth $25,000. And this was in Right. In 1982, $25,000. Now, the prizes that were up for grabs at the end of each one of the 4 games that I just mentioned, the Talisman of Pentiment, the Chalice of Light, the Crown of Life, the Philosopher's Stone. Okay? Now. Oh, wow. I hadn't heard that one yet. Disbanded the NWO. Wow. Interesting. Now, when I started researching this contest, in today's money, in 2018, the prizes that I just mentioned, those 4 prizes, are now worth $65,564.89 US, of course. Okay. Now, at the end of all 4 contests, Atari was going to take the 4 finalists from the first 2 games. Well, from the 4 games, okay? They were going to bring them in for a one-off, okay? And whoever won it got a prize worth in 1982 of $50,000. $50,000, okay? And it was an actual sword. Now, I'll get to this in a moment. And it was the Sword of Ultimate Sorcery. Now, to give you an idea, the Franklin Mint here in the United States, known for making very nice collectible coins and things like that, they were the ones that actually made the prizes. So this was like 24 karat gold or white gold and encrusted with actual sapphires, rubies, emeralds. This was no joke. These were real, actual treasure prizes that you could hold in your hand, worth that much money. We might as well round that off to, nowadays. I imagine in today's money, it's probably right around 66,000 US dollars. Now, the sword today is worth right. The sword in today's money is estimated, I would say in today's money, about 132,000 US dollars. We'll just round it off, okay? But in 2018, the actual estimates were, well, if adjusting for inflation and everything, world economy, $131,129.79. That was in 2018 when I started researching this. So, I wish. Well, this was in 1982. There was, Earthworld was released in 1982. And there was a winner of that prize. That was Stephen Bell. He won the Talisman. Okay. Stephen Bell did fall on hard times, and that entire thing has been lost to time. Okay. Stephen Bell won that in 1982. I'm not that old to have gotten involved in this contest. The Chalice was won by Michael Rideout. He still has it in a bank lockbox. Good luck. And there are pictures of him online, Michael Rideout, with the Chalice even to this day. And he's the only one that still talks about the contest. There was a third winner for the Crown of Life, but that's kept pretty secret because Waterworld was released very quietly, and you had to be a member of the Atari fan club and get in the magazine. That was the only way. and you could order it directly from the game directly from Atari. It was released in very limited numbers, extremely limited numbers, because in 1984 we were suffering the video game crash of 1984. If y'all know that from your video game history. So that being said, Air World unreleased. There has been rumors that there was a kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a cartridge that, kind of like a beta cartridge. That was about it. So in all, there were almost. But the problem was at that time, Atari, kind of had no choice. They had to continue the contest at that point because there was already a release date for Waterworld. They had to keep it going by law, that whole truth in advertising. Now, so the only two items that were never accounted for was the Philosopher's Stone and the Sword of Ultimate Sorcery. And it was thought of that Jack Tramiel, the CEO of Commodore, got his hands on it. And it was rumored that the Sword of Ultimate Sorcery was hanging above his fireplace, and that's not true. Jack Tramiel was, this is how much research I did. Jack Tramiel was the CEO of Commodore. He was born December 13th, 1928, and passed away on April 8th, 2012. He was 83 when he passed away. Now that I've said that, it was when he acquired Atari while as CEO of Commodore. The problem was that on the list of things that was in transfer to Commodore, those items were not there. So what happened to them? Well, the Franklin Mint was the one that made them. And I had to do the research and backlog and come to find out that the Franklin Mint went under back in I forget exactly when it was. So we had, and it was constantly in receivership. It never made enough money is the problem. And I had to backlog it. Who was in charge? What does this remind you of, Ricky? Because there's always a paper trail, and I was able to backlog it to Warner Media. Basically, in the 1980s, the Franklin Mint was owned by none. Ready Player One. I've not seen that movie yet. So Ted Turner owned the Franklin Mint in the 1980s. So by 1987, that was basically sold off to some other company, and eventually the Franklin Mint that I would have known that was back then eventually went bankrupt. Everything was sold off, and the name was bought out by another company, but that Franklin Mint is not the same one. They basically just bought the name. Totally different company. So I had to backlog all of this to Warner Media. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to have to check it out. But basically, I backlogged it all the way to Warner Media. And in a nutshell, Warner Media, somewhere in a dusty old office at their corporate headquarters, they've got the receipts basically saying that the last two items and the most sought after in video game history, the Sword of Ultimate Sorcery, was melted down. They're not going to keep that just lying around. The Franklin Mint most likely melted it down, turned it into other stuff, and sold it off. That's just the way it is. That's what happened to them. So in some way, shape, or form, people that were still buying stuff in the 1980s from the Franklin Mint most likely got little bits and pieces of video game history from that time frame. And that's my research. So basically it'll be left up to some junior detective to find where that receipt is. That's basically an inventory receipt, what happened to it. But I can pretty well guarantee that's what happened. Because well, I'll take that as a compliment, Ricky. I'll take that as a compliment. But that was my research. Oh yeah, I love this sort of stuff. I love that research. Oh, real quick, one of the lead we don't know exactly what happened to all the lead programmers from the Sword Quest series, except for one of them. There was two of them, Dan Hitchens and Todd Fry. Todd Fry, last whereabouts, he is working for some company called Bandai AI, making AI programs that help with as learning aids. So interesting stuff. Okay. Along with that, yeah, that pretty well covers it. So I don't mind talking about the research, but we're pretty damn sure. So pretty cool detective work there. And I almost gave up because, did one of them things. But anyhow, yep. So there you have it. There you have it. So, are you guys impressed? But I basically, when I called Warner Media, I said, can I talk to someone in your archives? And they're like, why would you need to talk to someone in our archives? I said, you guys are sitting on video game history. I tracked it. You guys are the last, basically the last ones that I need to talk to. Really? I said, we're talking a mystery over 30 years old. You guys are the last stop. What? And I said, Sword Quest. They're like, Sword Quest? The Atari video game? I've heard of that. What do you mean to tell me that we're the last stop in the mystery? Yep. Let me hook you up with someone in archives. They're like, wait a minute. They want the answer too at this point. And then when I was talking to the guy in archives, he's like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that somewhere in a dusty file cabinet in our archives from the 1980s is basically the end of Sword Quest? Yep. The last two items on the list. The last two items, I guarantee it. What happened to him is in your archives right now. How do you know this? I said, because Warner Media was in charge of, was in receivership, had ownership of the Franklin Mint, which was credited for making those items back in. There probably is, but it's been left a mystery. No one knows what happened. But I basically, when I explained to him that in their archives that they would have it in the inventory if it ever went to Atari, and I said, and I know it didn't go to Atari. They look, there's been people who've looked at this stuff. Atari never took full possession of those items until the contest. And then pretty much it was like they just handed it off to the contest winner. So in all reality, the last two items would have been in the inventory all the way until the Franklin Mint melted them down. Oh, there's a blog about that. Yep. But yeah, a lot of people, that's who has it. That's who had it. But we're damn sure that it was, and I told him, I said, it was probably melted down. I said, I can guarantee you find it in there. I mean, you're welcome to take full credit for finding it. I said, but I said, you guys are the last stop. And he's like, wow. I basically said, he's like, I never heard back from the guy, so I'm assuming he did find it, and probably that's probably where, yeah. So there you have it. Video game history. When I heard about the contest, I remember hearing bits and pieces. I was real little when I heard it. I mean, we're talking real little when I heard it for the first time. And, you know, wow. Dang, man. I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna have to ask what's up. Hey, what's going on, third gen? Good to see you, buddy. I gotta holler at you. I gotta holler at you and say hi. Um, we were just talking about the Sword Quest contest. Of course, I told you about that. You had inside info on it when you and I talked. One of the times you and I talked. So yeah, so that's kind of where it stands right now. So y'all know I have been setting aside a little bit here, a little bit there for. Okay, yeah, thanks, Ricky. Appreciate that. I love the name of your. Yeah, that's cute. I was just looking to see what you named your home base.
Oh, the den.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Uh, but I have been setting aside money for none. Oh, I got it, Ricky. Thank you. Um, let's see. I am setting aside money, and I've got some friends looking for a specific Windsor class V8 for Project Spirit, a specific one. For those that are wondering, I've been kind of keeping it kind of quiet, but I'll go ahead and just kind of tell y'all which one specifically that I'm looking for. I know everyone's like 302, 5.0, 5.0, or 302. Nope, 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 nope. I know that's what she would have came with here in the United States, but outside of the US, there was also the chance she could have easily gotten a 289. Here in the US, Ford stopped manufacturing the 289 around what was it, 1968, if I remember correctly. 68 was the last year for it. The 289, and but in Mexico and in South America, Ford was still making the 289, and you could have gotten them in Mavericks. And let me give y'all a little history. Back when I was a kid, we're talking real little, just barely out of diapers. This is how, basically the very first performance V8 I ever heard start up and run was in a 1966 Mustang GT Coupe, not the fastback, the Coupe. 289, 4 on the floor, 4-barrel carburetor, running through glass packs. The very first time I ever heard an engine like, we're talking old school performance like that, that's what I heard. And immediately I fell in love. Now, for the record, I would love it if Spirit had a 289 with a 4 on the floor, 4-barrel carburetor, all that old stuff. Oh yeah, no question about it. Wow. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that, Jay. This is true, except where I live. A lot of people are digging out the old Fords with 289s, and immediately they're now just throwing 289s out practically. where I live. They're yanking them and dropping in other engines and everything like that. And then like the bigger ones, like the Galaxy 500s and things like that, they're cramming in FE designs, uh, 390s. They're finding 390s, 360s, and anything like that. They're just jamming them right in there. Um, in place of those old 289s. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna grab one of those two. Yeah. Honestly and truthfully, it's not about the numbers. It's about that cool factor. I'm looking for the cool factor, that conversation piece. And in all reality, I mean, a 289 updated from the 60s for modern gasoline and things like that. To me, that's where it's at. I mean, give me something like that. So, and the parts still, as you just said, they're out there. But yeah, people are just practically throwing them away. And I might even be able to get lucky enough to find one for maybe $100 to $200. If that's any indication, they're practically throwing them out. Tear one of those down, rebuild it, ground up, and I know exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm not even going to play. Balanced blueprint, and I'll even take it to the step where it's internally balanced. I won't do the externally balanced stuff. I'll take it internally balanced. And you can do that. You can do that. Right. What I'm referring to is the fact whenever someone looks up, oh, 302, or someone says, oh, the 5.0. Nope, nope, nope. Old school 60s 289. And they can go, wow, I've never seen one before. Yeah, it looks identical to, yeah, it does. Because all they did was take the 289 and just stepped it up a notch. And that's how you got the 302. So it's you know what I'm saying. It's just one of those conversation pieces where people could say, "Wow, you found a 289, and put it in there." Well, yeah, I wanted something different, you know. And it's just one of those things. You know, honestly, it's the same category, really. It's not much different. It's kind of like the 327 and Chevy 350, really kind of right in there with that, you know, and the Chevrolet 302, which came out in 1967. There's really no difference. Oh, of course, of course. But there's one thing that I found when rebuilding engines. If you spend your time on the internals and getting it, I mean, you can build a kind of a low to mid compression engine and get good, good solid. Here's the irony of that. That slight difference in the stroke of the engine. In if distinctly remember, uh, in stock, if we're talking bone stock, you haven't modified them. In the eighth mile, the 289 had the advantage because it wrapped out quicker, but in the quarter, 302 had it. You know, it's one of those things you wouldn't think, but basically, and it was even like that with all of them. The bigger the engines got, the more of a chance you had in the quarter mile. But in the, as opposed to the smaller ones, but in the eighth mile, the small engines really, really had the advantage because they wrapped out quicker, got to the end of the track quicker. But that's in stock, and we're talking just factory stuff. Just straight up factory stuff. Most people don't get into that end of it all. They want the big numbers and the crazy, ridiculous times, and it is what it is. Now we're actually seeing now because of the advancements in eighth mile and quarter mile drag times. It has now gotten to the stage where now people are yanking off their big fat slicks in the back and putting regular size, putting narrower slicks on them and trying to improve the times there. Yeah, basically it's that minuscule. Yep. Yeah, you wouldn't think, you know. Just one of those things. But yeah, um, to give you, kind of give you the inside track. Yeah. Um, Myself personally, I have considered doing a project kind of more of a, not so much, like I have, I really would like to set her up where she could still be, but still I could take her to like a regular road track to hold her own out there. I would really love to be able to do that. Of course, right now, they are somewhat easier to find. But now, like I said, everyone's pulling 289s where I'm at, and they're practically throwing them out. I mean, they're throwing them out all the time anymore. And I just got to find the right one for the right price. That's it. But they're practically throwing them away now, and which is kind of cool. So now is the time. Which the irony of it is, I mean, where I'm at, everyone's like I said, building bigger ones. They're No one really builds 289s anymore where I live, which is kind of sad because good engine, real good engine. Every old timer I've ever talked to, like, oh yeah, great engine, great engine. You couldn't ask for much better. Those little engines, I mean, they get it where it counted. It's like, really, yep. But yeah, I love them old cars, love them. And of course, once the building starts, Spirit's going to have to go in and get that shift improvement kit. She's real sloppy between her gear shifts, but other than that, I mean, you know, um, the automatic's working out. I'm The only time I really see a serious problem is when it gets cold. Hey, what's going on, V? It gets real when it gets really cold. Finished your stream? How'd it go? How'd your stream go? I need to. Oh, 66 Fairlane. Out of the Fairlanes, my personal favorite is the 57 Ford Fairlane. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, V. Happens, man. Every once in a while you get a dead stream. Here and there you'll get a dead stream. It happens, man. I know right now, usually in the early parts of any stream that I do, it usually kind of runs a little slow. But then it picks up like around the 10 to 15 minute marker. It usually really starts picking up. Um, One of them things. Um, um, let's see. I hope all of you had the opportunity to catch up with the Surviving Romance video. Oh, thank you. This is actually oh, thank you, Think Different. I'm glad you liked it. Glad you liked it. I know there's been some questions why, and a lot of it is just bragging rights to show that, chivalry's not dead. It isn't dead, you know. All the good stuff for Princess Faye that I did on Valentine's Day and all the stuff that I did for her on her birthday, that's just for her for the most part. I mean, I'll show you guys bits and pieces of it, maybe talking a little bit about it, but that's about it. What's bad news about Save the World? Oh, you killing me. Real quick, Princess, if you ever see any video where this will come up, coming up because you know some of the stuff I'm working on. This is Princess Faye's favorite candy company. Oh, really? Well, I'm getting close to that stuff. But this is one of Princess Faye's favorite candies, and because we have a hard time pronouncing it, we just tease and call it kitty treats. So if you ever hear that come up, you know, in any future videos, now you know. Hey, what's going on, Galaxy? Welcome to the live. Yeah, I'm getting close to the, you know, all that stuff. I know right now that's Bad Bat's territory. He makes his V-Bucks there because he's got the founder stuff. Yeah, he's all into that. Him and I play a lot of that, you know, run together regularly. We just haven't been able to get caught up. And I do have I do need to film some stuff tonight. It's going to be interesting. Wondering how Princess Faye is doing on her current mission. Looks like decent. Okay. Why would I want to do that? This is my vape. I'm trying to quit smoking. I'm down to where I only smoke when I'm driving or when I'm on my break at work. That's it. That's the only time I smoke my, you know, my cigarettes. Don't do anything else. Not that exciting. By the way, oh yeah, yeah, too cold to be smoking outside. Yeah, I'm getting close to pretty well putting down the cigarettes for good. Yeah, basically, if you paid for the game, yeah, you're good. Which to advance past a certain point, you have to pay for the game. Which is like here in the US, like $10. Huh?
It was more than that.
Was it more than that? How much? What?
It was like 25.
Was it 20? Oh, okay. I just, you know. Well, oh, wow. They jacked you over then, huh? Welcome back, Ricky. Oh, really? Wow, that's jacked up, man. 16 euros, huh? Yeah, you guys, where you're at, you guys use the universal European currency. And England went back to the pound. I know here in the US, we've had the dollar. We've had the dollar forever. I haven't checked mine yet. I haven't checked it yet. But yeah. Oh God, there's tons of snow. What was it like? Monday, we got like, I think they said, oh, they never had the Euro? Oh, okay. Yeah, we got a ton of snow, like Monday. Something like, I think they said it was like close to 15 inches of snow here in Missouri, where I live. It was bad juju. No, no, I couldn't do that, Sunset. No. That's bad. That's bad news right there.
I have considered it, at least.
You've considered it? Okay. I no, ain't happening with this guy.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, we've had a lot of crazy weather out here. I've not seen weather like this in forever. I think the last time I seen a winter even remotely like this, I was a kid. Right, right. Yeah, yeah, right, V. Right. Oh, throw a snowball at her. Jake, you better be careful because uh, what always worries us here in Missouri is if you get snow with ice, it gets dangerous, dangerous. Yeah, I know who you are. I know who you are, Sunset. I actually remember you said it once in a stream. Uh, you know, because you had problems. You had some problems. You had to change the name and everything. Yeah, I know. Yep. Yeah, you had some serious problems there. But yeah, it's interesting. Um, to say the least. Um, so but yeah, I got a filming to do on Save the World. Kind of a heads up. And that filming, I'll give you guys an inside track, and then of course there's going to be some segments that have to be filmed, live film, but it'll be you got some video game filming that has to happen through OBS. I'll give you guys an inside track. Oh, yep, got some filming to do, which some of that'll have to be done this weekend. But for the inside track for all of you, Cinnamon and myself are going head to head in Save the World. Who's better at Save the World, myself or Cinnamon? Who? And then at the end of the video, which it'll be a premiere, you guys when it's released, a poll will be put up. Who is better? Who do you have your money on? It is legal where I'm at.
It's medically illegal. You have
But only through a doctor's prescription. Okay?
It's still technically illegal.
Technically, it is still illegal for recreational use, which I'm totally fine. Right? V.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you were caught and you do not have a doctor's prescription, you get in a lot of trouble. But I honestly, I don't need anything like that. Alcoholics Anonymous is very, very strict on that, which we talk about that Thursday nights. V is basically saying you're the better player.
Oh.
Yeah. But if a doctor told me to, that I had to have it, well, that's different. So I have no reason to uh use marijuana. I have no reason whatsoever. Yeah. Um and in all honesty, there's been, ha,
I'd love to have a wine cellar.
nope. I mean, I haven't had a drink in over 15 years. Would I serve it to non-alcoholic guests? Yeah, I have no problem with that. As long as they're responsible, don't be stupid, you know. But that's, a horse of a different color, you know.
You can have a wine cellar with your like sparkling apple cider or whatever.
Mm. Really, Sunset? Of course I drink water. Yep. That was the 7th of this month. Made 15 years of continuous sobriety as a member of alcohol. It is a long time, but honestly, the main one I got to worry about is just today. That's the hard one. I don't know if anyone ever did, to be honest with you. Don't know.
You're cute enough.
You sure do have a pretty mouth, boy. Well, hello. Here, come here. Come here. You're okay. There you go. Now the stream just got really awesome. Okay, you good? Okay. That's our kitten Zelda. That Bill Cosby joke, really. Everyone still makes fun of him. It is what it is. My sobriety birthday is February 7th. I got sober February 7th, 2006. GPU. I have no idea what that is. I'm sorry. A GPU? Oh, are you talking about the computer? Oh, Zelda, she's coming up on a year old, I know. Can't remember exactly when. I know she'd get. Oh, graphics card? I honestly don't know.
Apparently a shit one.
I know it's not good. The one that came with the dang thing, so we got to upgrade that bad boy. When I record on OBS, now it's fine. But if I do phase spirit animal, snow leopard. Myself?
No. That's my Therian.
Oh,
My spirit animal, I don't think I technically have one.
I'm not quite there yet myself. I don't think I've fully discovered it. I may have to take a trip to the reservation to figure that out. Which I'm supposed my mom and I were supposed to actually do that this last year through the summer. We were supposed to go to Arizona and take all the paperwork and get all the information that would make me a straight up card carrying member of my tribe. In other words, we're finally starting to make our way back home, I guess you could say. As crazy as that sounds. Yeah, new graphics card. That's really it. We just got to upgrade that graphics card. And the hard part is finding one that's at an affordable price that does a good job. That's really the hard part. But yeah, I'm right there with you, Ricky. I know it looks a little janky. Only live stream when I got to. But on Save the World, it's not that bad. But when for some odd reason, the game does not like Battle Royale. My computer does not like Battle Royale. It nonstop crashes. It hates Battle Royale.
Hey, quit it. You know better than that.
Boy, that look like what? I didn't do nothing.
Zelda.
Oh, no, 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 no. Ricky, I turned down the resolution, or otherwise it lagged. I had to turn it all the way down.
No, he's not talking about. He's talking about the shape in which your screen projects its image.
That's a possibility.
I'll show you later. I didn't even think of that, but I can try and mess with that.
But there you have it. All right. Now, at this stage of the game, yeah, Princess Faye just clued me in on that. But it is starting to get late. I do need to go eat a little something, go take care of me. If not, my blood sugar, that ain't no good. So I do need to slide off and call it a night. We will be back tomorrow evening with Sober Talk. Everyone is welcome to join. That I'm going to have to go over that one again, but that is not what that actually is. Right. Well, yeah. Actually, when it comes to computer stuff, it'll be you guys and Princess Faye that'll be working those details out. I'm no good. I'm no good at electronics. My thing is mechanics. That's where it's at for me. But tomorrow is Sober Talk. So we will be live for Sober Talk. Just kind of chit chat, tallywhack about sobriety, which I end up talking a little bit about life, and life and sobriety go together. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And sometime I need to dive into it. I need to actually go and show you guys some of the knowledge I've learned about World War II. We're still discovering what happened during the Second World War and even the First World War. We're still getting information. But I will tell you, there is a channel right now that if you guys want to get some really cool information on World War II, go over. It's a big channel, but this guy is good. He knows his stuff about World War. There's two channels right now. There's one from Time Ghost Army called, World War II in Real Time with Indy Nidell. And another one that I really like. This guy is really good. I mean, he gives a lot of stuff that you don't just hear about World War II. All right, Ricky. But there's one that you guys need to really check out, and it's called Tik, Tik. This guy's really good, and he goes into a lot of stuff about the Eastern Front in Europe. If you guys have not really taken a close look at that, you definitely should. I've actually learned a great deal about the Eastern Front from this guy, and my grandfather served during the Second World War, and my great grandfather fought in the First World War. So I definitely look at these channels for my World War II history. So definitely take a look at that if you're interested. So that's kind of where we're going to land for the evening. Friday is going to be obviously Faye's Corner. Okay, Faye's Corner Friday. Unless she does not want to do it, then we'll come up with something. And I'm going to try to get with Broken Mike to maybe do a late night Thursday night stream. But as it stands right now, that is not in the cards. I'll have to get with him if he's interested. Saturday will be a Cinnamon live stream again, and of course, then afterwards, I got to do some filming with Cinnamon because I'll still be in makeup. And that's the best time to get all the filming out of the way. Sunday, I have no idea yet. We're not that far into the week. Monday will be usual release content, some sort of premiere video. And of course, back to Tuesday night madness come Tuesday, obviously. So that is where we stand. So I will not be streaming, obviously, Monday or Tuesday, but it will be uploaded content. So, all righty. So that's kind of where we stand for the week. So that brings us to the spot where I get to say to all of you out there, get out there and work on a project. Don't care what it is. Just do something with yourself. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind go together like oil and water. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet and do something special for them today. And as always, for all of you out there, if no one out there has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.